Why is my baby sucking on their hand? Babies suck their thumbs, right? It's like a quintessential part of being a baby. But what if your baby is sucking on their whole hand, fist, or their other fingers? Is that normal? The short answer, yes. Everything a baby does is basically a way of communicating. So, if your baby's spending a lot of time sucking on their hand, they're probably trying to tell you something. Reasons for hand sucking. To understand why your baby is sucking on their hand, you'll have to do a little detective work. The reason will depend on how old they are and what other developmental phases they're going through. Here are the most common explanations. Hunger. If your newborn is sucking on their hand, they may be trying to tell you they're hungry and want to be sucking on your nipple or bottle to feed. Self-soothing. If you've already fed your baby and you know they're unlikely to be hungry yet, they may be sucking to soothe themselves. Sucking produces a calming sensation that relaxes babies and young children and is the reason so many little ones rely on a dummy or thumb sucking to get to sleep. Teething. Most babies begin teething between 4 and 7 months old, so while you can probably rule this out for a newborn, it could definitely be causing your older baby to suck on their hands, fists, or fingers. Their gums hurt and rubbing something against those sore spots feels good. If your baby has been drooling a ton, acting more irritable than usual, or having more frequent wakings, it's probably safe to assume teething is to blame. Exploration. Sure, it may sound weird that hands could be a source of entertainment, but to a young baby, think 2 or 3 months old, hands are freaking fascinating. And you know what's even more fascinating? Realizing you can control them. Babies this age are just starting to figure out they have these super useful tools attached to their bodies that they can wave around, pick things up with, and stick in their mouth. They're also figuring out their senses and learning that different things have different tastes, textures, and temperatures. This is all ridiculously interesting for new humans. Boredom. Newborns typically have a busy schedule full of eating, pooping, crying, and sleeping. But once your baby starts spending a little more time awake every day, they might experience a totally new sensation, boredom. It's healthy for your baby to spend some supervised time outside of your arms, like in a bouncy seat or playpen. Eventually, though, they'll get tired of hanging out away from you. A baby who sucks on their hand may be sending a self-soothing cue that they need a change of scenery. Risks of hand sucking. There's nothing inherently wrong or bad about your baby sucking on their hand or fingers. You should, however, make sure that your baby's hands are clean. They aren't in any pain or discomfort. The general environment around them is safe and comfortable. Some people worry that their baby's thumb or hand sucking will interfere with oral development. The good news is that the American Dental Association, ADA, reassures parents that the behavior doesn't usually cause problems in the first few years of life. The experts say that it's only after age 4 that you may want to start gently discouraging the habit to avoid future problems with the mouth. How to deal with it. You don't really have to do much of anything when your baby is sucking on their hand except feed them if it's a hunger cue. Still, we did tell you that it's a form of nonverbal communication, so how you respond depends on what your baby is telling you. Do babies grow out of it? Babies move quickly from one phase to the next, so it won't be long before they've found something else to hold their attention, like their toes. Plus, as their language develops, they'll be able to communicate their needs and wants with gestures and, eventually, words. Most kids drop the habit between the ages of 2 and 4, leaving only a small percentage of kids still thumb sucking after that. When to worry. If your baby turns into a preschooler and they're still sucking on their hands or fingers, you should speak to your child's pediatrician. Generally, it's not productive to force your child to stop before they're 4 years old, but there are ways you can redirect your child to help break the habit. If your newborn baby is constantly sucking on their hands and you think it's a hunger cue, you may want to talk to your pediatrician as well. It's possible that your baby isn't getting as much breast milk as you think, leaving them hungry all the time, or that there's a problem with their latch or sucking reflex.